Hello guys, Savi here. I've considered for a long time now to actually create a YouTube channel with Yu-Gi-Oh related content, both dueling book and deck profiles from physical events, remote at this stage. So even though I thought of it for a while, I was hesitant. Recently, I bubbled the remote YCS in Europe. So I decided, after all, to give it a shot. The event was a little weird. It didn't run very smoothly at start, but in time it got better. It was a very, very, very nice event and my first premier event overall. Little sad on the bubble, but still it was a very good score, so I'm not going to complain. Well, let's get to the deck profile. So as you can see, I played Virtual Worlds. I've been playing the deck for a while, even in the Dueling Book ladder. Relatively high rated. I really like the deck ever since its release in the OCG because one, I like the name Datascape, and two, they really reminded me of Metabots, one of my favorite shows as a kid. So I decided to pick up the deck ever since it came out. I haven't really changed the deck ever since. Maybe played VA at times since I love the deck, but that's just about it. So getting into the deck, 3 Lulu, 3 Kirin, 3 Lao Lao, 3 Gigi, and 2 Nyan. It's a standard lineup. I don't run 2-2 because I really felt that it wasn't needed, for one. I couldn't really find, I wanted to make space for other cards as well, so 2-2 was really not an option, even though I mostly play tested with 2-2 since it actually gives you some lines of play as well. I didn't feel like running 2-2 in the end though. Onto the hand traps, which were like the ratio is a little weird, but there is a lot of thought process behind it. So at start I didn't want to play as Blossom that much, like I would probably play some, but I don't really like as Blossom as much as Bell in this format. I feel like Bell is better. You can use it in more matchups and even in problematic matchups as well. But in vast formats like YCS's, I thought it would be better even against rogue decks or generally every deck. As Blossom can at least hit some cards of every deck. So in the end, even though I didn't want to play as Blossom, I decided to just run 3 as Blossom and go with a different ratio for the rest of the hand traps. So 3 as. 3 Gamma and 1 Driver, best hand trap in the deck, and one of the best in the format as well. Going second is the best, definitely, at least in the main deck. Great synergy with Virtual World. So 3 Gamma and 1 Driver. Also very good against Dry Brigade, which is one of your hardest matchups if you lose the die roll. So one of my favorite hand traps in the format, 2 Bell. I'm not running 3 since I run 10 hand traps, so that means I run one more 2 off at least. I don't run 3 Bell because I wanted to run 10. There are some variations, or let's say I had some other options of running like 3 and playing 9 hand traps in total, not playing the last one. But I thought that one, I don't really want to see many copies of the hand traps since all of them are used once per turn. Apart from Gamma, but you can really resolve it more than once. And 2, it's a little less generic than as Blossom, so even though I believe that against top meta decks this is better, against Rogue as Blossom is way better, so that's the point of the ratio at least, of going only with 2. And in the end, Impermanence, amazing this format, very good against Dry Brigade, and really helps you contain the deck to a point where you can actually beat their board with a reasonable hand. I would play 3, but it conflicts with Gamma, so I kept the ratio at 2. It's better than Veiler because, one, you don't get hit by TTT or Called by the Grave, and actually that's just it. It's very good against Drytron as well because you just use it on Mubeta, so that's usually enough to at least slow down their pace a lot. So 2 impermanents, and that rounds up our hand traps. Spells pretty standard: 3 Kowloon, 3 Kinglong, 3 Desires. The way my main deck and side deck are constructed, I couldn't really play Prosperity, even though many virtual world lists decide to go with consistency with Prosperity. I decided to go with Foolish Goods. I would play a second copy, but as said, since I ran 10 hand traps, Gamma being one of them, I didn't have enough space, and maybe I could cut the teleport for one more Foolish Goods, which I'm gonna get to it afterwards, but yes, so the spell lineup is these, which are standard, no Prosperity because of how the deck and extra deck are built, and for the final spells, it's these 3, the 3 one-offs. These for consistency, it acts like upstart in this deck. In case you don't draw very well, you just go into this, and even making sense and in this format is very strong against most of the decks. So this is honestly enough most of the time. Called by the Grave, pretty much a must for every combo deck. And Teleport does come up at times, but to be honest, I think it only helped me in a single match. Most of the time I ended up discarding it, so I would consider taking this out. At times it's good going second though, so because like if you get if someone bounces your summon, for example with Oath, or like binds it with Shureg, at times you need to have this to play through. So yeah, I decided to play Teleport. This would have been a 2-2 as well, but for the same reason, it acts as an extender, so I decided to go for that. I would probably change it with Boots after the event, but it's still an okay card. Like that's pretty much the reasoning behind it. Finally, to round this up in a 40 deck, the traps, basic for the deck, nothing to say here. Going on to the extra deck, 1 Ultimaya and 1 Crystal Wing. Pretty much the line every virtual world deck is going for right now. There are many tricks with this, actually. Like many people don't like they don't really imperma your summon of Ultimaya, which is reasonable because if you don't have a set card, they just want -1. But like at times they're gonna imperma or Veiler it, and you can pop it with your own suits, so it results in you still special summon the Crystal Wing. Both this trick and actually popping my own Crystal Wing because one opponent tried to Nibiru and imperma me on Crystal Wing. Popping my own Crystal Wing came in clutch in some matches. Same goes for Ultimaya. Popping Ultimaya actually came up clutch in some matches of mine in the YCS. Next up, standard line again. Those 3. Literally every single virtual world deck is gonna play those 3. It's the best level 6s you can get. You can't really ask for a better one. I considered Nothung because it burns in time, but I didn't really want to go into it afterwards. I felt it was very cheesy. For the level 9s, Sensen, Arcthetis, and Vermilion. I just love this card. No words. Obviously, they're the best level 9s you can play. Continuing in the extra deck, got Fortune Tune, very good against Sky Striker again. You can dodge Widow Anchor on Zeus if you just pop your own Zeus with Chooch, and they can't really Widow Anchor this because it can be targeted, so you can set up Zeus pretty freely. And this is the only rank 3 I play. Many people go for Breaksword, but I never felt that Breaksword was needed for me in any test, so I just decided with the Fortune Tune. Ptolemy, best rank 6, amazing utility, can get some big bodies out at times for the extra deck. Utopia Beyond, as you can see, I don't own triple tactics. That's probably the only reason I didn't play the card as well. Elsewhere, I would probably read two of them. If you don't have triple tactics, this deck really suffers from Dragoon. So I had to have some outs or at least ways to force the Dragoon and then try to either out him with Fortune Tune and Zeus or the Phantom Fortress, since I play this as well. Also, it has some weird OTK patterns with Stardust Start, since this can attack every special summoned monster. And to activate his effect of making every opponent's monster 0 attack, it doesn't need to detach a material, so it has great synergy with this, going into 2 effect Zeus. Fun, I think this is the best rank 6 of the format, honestly. It comes up clutch in so many matchups against Tritron, against Tri-Brigade at times, depending on the state. Definitely against Salamangreat and Sky Striker. As said, Charge and Zeus for the packets, and the final one is Phantom Fortress, which is only good on the late game or out in Dragoon at situations, but mostly in the late game you can banish either the last card in hand and leave them on top deck, or banish some problematic cards from the graveyard, and that's pretty much it for the extra deck. Last but not least, going into the side deck, 3-draw, very clutch in many matchups, especially against Drytron and Tri-Brigade. I don't really think I didn't play in Ignister, so it's very good against Ignister as well. If the format was a little different, if it didn't have so much diversity, I would say that I might have main decked those, but since the format is pretty diverse and I didn't really know what to expect exactly, at least, I didn't want to main deck them, but definitely very good job on the draws, amazing card. This is, I think I resolved a single Nibiru. I didn't play any Salamangreats in the event, which is weird since it had a lot of representation, and against other decks, since your build is very tight, you have like 14 names, you can't side out any of these, so siding is a big problem for this deck at times. Nibirus, I would probably change them into Dark Rulers, the way the event played out, and the way the deck itself played out. I think I would just cut this for Dark Ruler, so you can combat Tri-Brigade boards more easily, since Tri-Brigade is really a problem for this deck at times. I don't think this is bad in any scenario, but I just think it didn't work out for me, so that's one of the changes I would make. Probably cut Nibiru for Dark Ruler, and with the same reasoning in mind, maybe change this into Cosmic. Even like the primary back row decks should be like Sky Striker and Salamangreat. I think they're better than straight up control decks right now. But both of them don't set many cards, except if like Salamangreat play both Traps and Solemn Strike, and they draw into all 3 of them, or get to all 3 of them somehow. And even so, if you get roared, you just lose 1 more card from your hand, which isn't so bad for virtual, because at times you can discard some, like either Nyan or Kinglong, but at times you also need the cards in hand to play through. So I would probably change this for, and even in Tri-Brigade, like you do need the cards in hand to actually push through their board, because if you use this and like pop a single Revolt, because many decklists just play the Revolt and not really that many back row. Others do play Strike as well, but yeah, I think I would probably make this Cosmic, since I really value chainable ones instead of blowouts. Which I do run blowouts, but they're not lightning storm very evenly because it's better against Tri-Brigade again. Many Tri-Brigades play Anti-Spell and Imperial, so, and even Salamangreats as well, you know. So I really thought that evenly is gonna be better. I only ran 2 because the last card is a reboot, because it's free against Monkey Flip decks. So I think I resolved 1 evenly against the Tri-Brigade, and it came up very clutch. Obviously got rid of Appaloosa and the warrior, the insane warrior, so it really won me the match there, to be honest. And reboot, I didn't play any trap deck, so I didn't resolve it at all. Last but not least, as I said, I didn't run Prosperity because I tried to dig out cards from my deck, either hand traps because I played many, or this from my side deck when siding in. Against most decks, this is an FTK, this format, FTK versus Drytron, and Sky Striker, FTK, or at least a good trade versus many of the other decks, like against Sky Striker and Drytron, this is FTK, against, if used correctly, against Tri Brigade, it can really save you a long trouble, because like I usually don't go for this on 10 key, I just let them resolve 10 key, and if they try to Cosmic or Twin Twisters my shoots, I just keep it for that. I don't sign this in against Tri Brigade because I don't really play many spells overall. I don't sign this in against Salamangreat either because even though it's good, you have to use it in the standby phase, and then if they have Foxy, they can just pop it and proceed with their turn, so you minus very hard. This is good though against Salamangreat because at least you might trade off a Circle of Desires or a Signet Mining, so at least I feel this is way better than this. And same reasoning, Twin Twisters, you just change this and yeah. So that's it with the deck profile. I said this was my first big event, first premier event. I'm sad that I bubbled, but it was still a very good result. I can't really complain. I got to play the deck that I like the most right now, and it did pretty well for me. So I'm not exactly disappointed. Maybe felt a little unlucky, but in the end I shouldn't have lost so early in the rounds, I suppose. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to post good content. As said, this is the first time I ever make content, so you can write down in the comments what you think I should fix in the future. I'm gonna be posting many DB videos as well, many narrated duels. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to my team, Legacy. Some of the people really helped me there with playtesting and the deck itself. Really want to say some special thanks to my friend Tom Gogas from Greece. He really helped me through crafting the deck. I think we played almost the same list. He played Totem Bird in the extra deck instead of Phantom Fortress, I think, but he didn't have Totem Bird. So even though his theory on the card was correct, I couldn't really play it. And I was very comfortable with Phantom Fortress because I've been playing the card for a long time. Also, my other friend Vangelis Argyris, he also really helped me with the ratios. Both him and Tom Gogas both helped me a lot. And last but the most important person, my girlfriend, for supporting me all this time and being really patient because these events actually take up a lot of time. So these are all my shout outs. Again, sorry the video is a little weird. As said, I have no experience with YouTube content, so excuse some mistakes. I'm gonna do my best in the future. So thank you for watching. Peace. Have a good day.